Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Tuesday, December 30th, 2025. I, of course, am Hammer, founder of Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. So glad to have you here today. Yes, you see me bouncing around. Woo! It's like, I always go a little to the right. I am doing one of the walking treadmill things. Does anyone else do these things? I'll ask again in a little while, but I started it for a little while yesterday. I'm going to crank it today, and I'm not waiting until January 1st to do something new. I started a couple of days early because you got to roll into the year. Now, you know where this is going. Speaking of rolling into the year, we have over 100 people signed up, but there's over a couple 100,000 originators out there. Guys, gals, so much of an advantage comes from just knowing what you're going to do as you roll into the new year. I would love to say that here at Hammer Solutions and our different products that we were in a stronger place sales and sales engine wise, but we've slacked and it's on me. So anyway, going into the new year, you got to build it up. If you're not happy with your 25, make sure 26 is better. And the way to do that is to have this vision plan. So I'm going to lay this up on the screen. Make sure you sign up. I gave you all that promo code. I saw a few of you use it yesterday, SAVE30. I have not shared that code anywhere else. I'm not sharing it today on the email. Only the people on the live have gotten that promo code. It's yours because you support me and you're here and you're faithful and I'm sharing with you. I got to tell you, though, this thing, get on it. Get on it. Get on it. By the way, that SAVE30 would not have worked on the reduced early bird pricing, just so anyone knows. You wouldn't have saved anymore. I couldn't go any lower than 67. So, but it's up to 97 now. SAVE30 brings you back to that 67. Tom Stafford's going to be on today. That's awesome. Amy said you have one of those and love it. Get your steps in. Yeah, I got to tell you, because my belly is big and I got to do something about it. Also, I have knee surgery coming up in March, the end of March, March 31st. I'm getting my knee replacement, and I want to make sure my hips and my legs are strong so that I get a easier recovery. I've had way too many surgeries in my time, and you could do a lot ahead of time to actually get a better buildup. So, yeah, Marana, I'm doing the treadmill thing, as you could tell. That or I'm just bebopping to the beat, walking to the beat. Anyway, so let's go ahead and keep getting started. How y'all doing today? Hope you're doing well. I have the link up there. I'm going to leave that up there. Let's see who we got on this morning. I'll say hello, and then we'll get into it. Not a lot of movement in rates. You guys know that. It's a quiet weekend, right? We've talked about that. So giddy up, Mr. Randy Teakle. Amy Blaser, good to see you. Mike Brown, great to have you here. Holly Johnson, Michael Scott Love. Randy Teakle said, I thought I signed up. What's email confirmation? Teakle, hold on a minute. I will look for you. Hold on a minute. Let me just go to all the signups, and I will search for your name real quick. Hold on, let me put it in last name alphabetical order. Teakle, you are there, and I'll send out all new emails today. Make sure, and text messages, so you'll get all the stuff after I get on this call. It's actually one of the things I'm going to start doing. So you are good, Mr. Teakle. You do not have to sign up again. Mallory Fotiadas, good morning. Alexandria Villanueva. Karen Lynn Whitaker Elridge, good morning. Allison Foy. Allison, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Jerry Avila, good morning. Vicky McSweeney. Yeah, I got to stop leaning to the right when I'm on this. I got to keep myself centered. Part of it's because the camera is over here, so I'm going to the camera. Woo! Look at that. Working up a sweat. That's gross. All right. Let me go ahead and show you guys what's going on this morning. So great to have you here as we roll into 2026. I don't know about y'all, but I really, really want it to be a good year. I need a good year. So, all right, what we got here, take a look. Mortgage bonds currently down about 8 basis points on the day. Not a big deal. Let me zoom in at the bottom, and we will drag this over So yesterday, pricing came out right around 101.45. End of the day, around 101.50, up about 5 basis points. It's really nothing to get overly excited about. There were no reprices better. Really, not much that was happening. Not much that was happening with that. So we did see a little bit of improvement with bonds in the afternoon, but it wasn't much. Rate sheets today should be similar to yesterday, though. You could see right about here as pricing's coming out. That's kind of where we're at now. We started the day. Bonds lost a little bit of ground in overnight trading, but not much. A little spike. Again, we've got reduced trading volume. So you're going to see things like this little spike right here, but it's really not that big of a deal. But pricing was right around 101.45. Right now, we're around 101.45. That means we're going to see about the same rate sheets as what we saw yesterday. Those rate sheets were actually pretty good. If we take a look together, you were at 6.19, 6.20, 6.21. Again, very, very small improvements in rate sheet pricing. But taking a look here, this, I think, let me slide this over. This right here, I think this is going to be yesterday. I think the yesterday is going to be the high point for the year. When we actually, let me shrink this down a little bit. When we take a look for the year, you could see that I think is going to be the high point for the bonds. But if you notice, rate sheets were not actually, that wasn't the high point for rate sheets. Rate sheets were actually better before the October Fed meeting than where they're at today. Not a lot, but it was a little bit better. So it shows you, it looks like lenders are kind of holding on to a little bit right now, just to keep things calm. They don't want to get stuck with having to meet pipeline that, when they get back to traders and everything. So next week, of course, the big week, I think we're going to see a lot more happening. Reprice risk on the day today is low. Not much going to happen. This afternoon, we're going to get the FOMC meeting minutes. Nope, that's the wrong. Here it is. We're going to get the FOMC meeting minutes. I don't think it's going to be a big deal at all. I don't think that'll show us anything that we have to worry about. Taking a look here at the Fed tool. Get rid of this. I'm throwing it up on the screen again, guys. I can't stress it enough. I want to get you there. Want to have you on the vision plan. So anyway, we're, barely looking at a possibility of a rate cut in January. Markets have, remember, it was as high as about a quarter, and now it's down to about 15%. That's where it's been staying. Not likely. Market's really not looking for anything to happen here. This Fed meeting doesn't happen until the end of January. So next week, when we get all the big data, the jobs data, we'll get BLS jobs data on the 9th, and things will kind of go back to normal for getting data after the government shutdown. We could see that number bump a little bit, but I don't think you'll see rate sheets improve much at all. So keep that in mind. But that's kind of where we're at. I think this is basically we're about the best level for where it is. Yeah, Sean, you got to look at your calendar every day. It should be part of your routine. So, you know what else I got to show you guys? I bought a little screen for Zoom. I'm going to test it. I'm going to see. In fact, let me play with this. Let me move this all the way over there. There we go. Hold on. Put that here. It's so teeny tiny, and I'm walking, which is making this even more complicated. So I can kind of see. It's a little 5-inch monitor right over my phone camera. So that way I can, on Zoom, I can be looking at you, but yet still see that person rather than having them on a separate screen that I look at. So looking forward to playing with that a little bit. Got that on Amazon. It was like $35. Man, I can't get over how cheap some things still are today. So watching you walk stinks. Rather see you and Richard Simmons dance to the oldies. Yeah. Mike Brown, I'll consider that. We'll put that on the next one. In the meantime, walking is the first step for me since I have a standing desk. Whoop. Too far to the right. That's what a buddy of mine, he told me. He's like, you need to get one that's extra wide because you got to make sure you're staying in your lane. So, but anyway, I don't think I'll be doing this on every of my lives. I'll probably go live regular and then jump on these when I'm not on live calls that I'll be talking the whole time. Certainly not going to do this afternoon's workshop while I'm on this thing because I'll be out of breath. But I've been on it for about an hour already. So I think that helps me burn a few hundred calories, they say. I plan on doing a few hours a day to build up my stamina and keep my hips and legs moving as, again, before I have surgery at the end of March. So, all right, my friends. Well, that's it for today. really not much to go into. Again, I hope to see all of you. And if I don't, no harm, no foul. I love you anyway. This is not a big sales play. I've worked hard on this. Oh, do you know what? I want to show you guys. Hold on. Let me pull it up. So let me show you what we're going to be doing. And anyone that wants to get off all the rate stuff is fine. I'm just talking about the business planning thing now. So this was the old workbook that we used to have. And what I did is I've changed this. So let me refresh this and see. So what's going to happen is if I put the link in for this. So what's going to happen is we're going to do the first part of the program. Hold on, I'm pulling up. I've got different windows open here. Okay, so now we've got a Google Doc over here that we will use for the first part of the program. So you could type things in and make it a little bit easier. So you can either print this or type this. I'll be sending this out in a little while. And then for the second part, the story, you're going to have this success story interview GPT. And it's going to be this agent here. It's to build your success story. It's a whole interview agent. So we build it, and it's going to walk you through this whole process. And I'm also going to be here to walk you through this process, because as much as I think that AI is got some cool tricks, it's still, my opinion remains the way that it has been for a long time. It's not quite always ready for prime time. And sometimes there's different prompts and different things. So part of the workshop today, I'll be walking people through this process. But when you're done, right, like let's say, what's important to you, right? Pick one of these. And so like, let's say I say building a business with consistent monthly income instead of volatility. That's important to everybody, right? And it says, all right, there's an outcome. Let's sharpen it. What do your actual numbers look like? I want to make $250,000. And it says, okay, now let's break this down. How does that work? You know, roughly the average, lowest month, highest month. And it's going to walk you through some of this, right? So lowest month, let's say January is going to be slow, right? 10K, Jan, Feb, March, and then steadily higher from there until I reach 250. What would that have to be? And I could type that in, and it's going to help figure that out. So the thing is, as we go through this, it's going to walk you not just on your income. It's starting there because I picked that, right? But it's going to go through health and family and things like that. And we're going to spend time in that workshop going through this whole GPT that I built. And I've got different, prompts to help you through it. And then show me a draft of my success story. And then what it's going to do is it's going to put this whole thing together for you. And it's going to create it so that you can put it in a PDF and a Word doc so you can print it out. And that you have something every morning, Sean, that you start your day. I mean, like, 100 people, that's a big commitment, but maybe the people that want to get to me, I know 100 won't do it, right? So you laminate this. This is what I do. I have a laminator. You laminate this. And every morning when you start your day, instead of getting on your phone, instead of checking your email, you read your success story. And it's going to put your brain in that spot where it needs to be to make this happen. I can tell you from experience, part of why I have my office here today is that when I have a vision in my mind that when I was 50, that I was going to have the desk, and I'll show you guys a picture. I'll take a picture of it. And I had a vision in my mind. I was going to have the desk, the window behind me, the office, and that's exactly what I've built. And it's because of that. So anyway, this is here. That's what we're going to be working on. And then after this, that third piece, also critically important. You got to have action and implementation, right? You've got to have something that is going to get you there. And I have not said made a big enough deal about the fact that Scott Groves, the founder and head coach at Consolidated Coaching, is going to be joining me on this call. And when I say he wrote the book on lead gen, I'm not kidding. He wrote the book on lead gen, right? Like he literally. So we're going to be going over, if you've got those numbers, how are the strategies, 3 strategies and 5 tactics for each of the 3 strategies that you're going to implement. So it's not just a kumbaya, feel good session. We're going to have the rubber meets the road, get you their stuff, because that's where I fall short sometimes. Sometimes I'm just not doing things that like you can't just expect to manifest this stuff. So anyway, I've talked about this too much, but I do love talking about it. Very, very into this. I hope you guys hop on. Rob, yes, you will definitely, we will spam you today with links to join the workshop. You'll be getting texts and emails with all the information right after I get off this call, about an hour. I want to give my West Coast timers a little bit of time before we start blowing up their phones. But we will be sending you stuff, making sure you've got everything that you need. Plus, we'll have it on the call. But yes, we'll make sure that you have the call information. Some people did not see the confirmation email. We saw there was a problem with that. So we'll make sure everybody's got everything. So we'll be sending that all out today. Cool. All right, my friends. Well, anyway, I'm excited. I hope to see many of you. Jump on. There's the QR code. It's hmmr.io/2026 plan. Let me go ahead and pop that. There is the link. So on that note, I am out of here, my friends. I'm going to keep walking. I hope you guys have a fantastic one. I will be around tomorrow. We'll do one more show to end the year tomorrow, New Year's Eve. And I'll be taking Friday off like I did after Christmas because nobody's working on Friday anyway. And we'll get back to it on Monday. So hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow. Take care, my friends. Make it a great one. Bye-bye.